why maybe you see Paul on it instead, potentially. I do like the old pick. I think if you've got Transcendence being a potential meta pickup here, he is someone that really likes to abuse them.
He really is.
We're
With
gonna
Scary
fight.
D going in. Panatom going to be the target of the aggression, but instead shifted on a wrong U, forced to use the beads.
Yeah, but only got one set of beads though. Wrong, you still under pressure. The Paul took it back the wrong direction. So it's a 1-for-1 trade as Panatom did at least pick up Scary D. Aurora and Paul can't make much happen on their own, and Benji's going to walk back towards the solo lane again after that rotation. First blood though, did that go to Panatom?
That full farm stage and should be able to maintain his lead or at least match up to Shinto's farm, because we know Shinto's going to get all the back camps to himself, especially on a god like Yanis able to rotate around so easily.
Right hand side, now you can see the engage on towards Panatom now, who's under pressure. He's got enough mana to potentially get away. Jumping from Julio to try and help out his teammate, but his ultimate just a little bit too late to help out his team and wait for Rongyu and Shinto to arrive, who are now on the way, but the pathing's awkward. Scary took a ton of damage to Frost. Immune thanks to the beads out from Scary, but the dropkick from Panatom makes sure he doesn't get that. And now Benji's still dealing some damage, knows he's got reinforcements on the way, but he's under a lot of pressure now. The damage is good, but not enough to find a kill. Meanwhile, back in the fight, Scary looking for a target, and he's going to end up picking up Julio, bringing him further closer to Benji, and drops the ultimate down.
Nice.
But the Sunder soon after from Aurora will remove the shield. Scary D gets separated from the squad. Leviathans find a kill and defend their blue buff and might be able to steal one for themselves now, or even get a kill on Aurora.
Now Aurora on the retreat. Should be able to start off fights incredibly well. You've got the utility from the death immunity as well. I think Cyclone Spin's in just a fine spot, especially considering just ticks over to 12.
Blinking from Benji over the wall, picks up Rongyu, dunks him on down into some damage. The dog's looking for a bone and he's going to find Panatom who beats it away. Rongyu's still alive on the backside of this fight though, but for how long is the question? Scary thinking about committing, but it's Benji looking at Panatom and finding the kill there, while Scary still survives for now. Yorko hunting down, won't find the target he's after, and in the end he's going to run right in towards Julio. Yorko has to beat away the stun from Paul though. Good axe onto Benji to give him some separation, but not enough as King Arthur claims another life. And now with, well, the first life I should say, now over to the goal for you go Tartarus Titans, who started up this engagement.
Man, Benji.
A Cyclone Spin, so it'll get that extra cooldown reduction in there too now. So expect to see a little bit more use out of him. But Pyro now started up by Titans.
They've already started to reset it as well. They want to take the fight. Stun does find its way onto Julio, and he's left high and dry.
But he's going to get his ultimate off. Oh, will he? No! Deleted as he lands on down. Panatom leaps away to safety, leaving Rongyu and Shinto alone. And Rongyu just used his ultimate. Great portal out of Shinto, though. Good double use of the portal there, if I'm honest, to get his teammates away. That was through space and time use. And in this area around the Primal Fury, Rongyu, first on the scene, going to get rooted by Aurora for a second. Yorko stood in the water, didn't know where he is, and in goes Julio. Great wall too. Freeze on Paul, beats down, Aegis down. Did get hit by space and time, but rewind all the way back and into the mix, and eats an axe straight away from Yorko to his mush. And that takes the life of the mid lane of Paul, and the Primal Fury that Titans were baiting started up by Leviathans.
And now the Titans want to step forward. Benji thought about it, using that goaltender here, Panatom, able to secure this one away, and now the fight starts in earnest. Rongyu's here.
But there's Scary to use the ultimate to dissuade him from going aggressive on him. He's going to take Rongyu away from the fight. Shinto's space and time. Didn't really do too much damage in that. Good stuff from Aurora though to try and separate them. Trying to slow them down, but he's getting whittled down. The bear is in the woods. No longer, he's dead. Yorko leaping on in towards for the kill. And now looking at Scary D, who will lead back to safety. Benji trying to separate the pool to the backside as Panatom very low in health. Paul and Cyclone turn up to the fray a little bit late, and ability to take down these towers quickly.
And it's going to burn very fast. Leviathans have to show up sooner rather than later. It's Julio in first, and he's the target.
Takes a bit of damage. The wall going to prevent some follow-up, though, from Rongyu there, as he takes a ton from Paul over the wall. Panatom position around the right-hand side as Julio leaps away, trying to get back to safety, but he keeps getting collapsed on. Has the shield, goes back into the wall, and Cyclone gets left alone. Panatom found the angle alongside Shinto there to bring him down. Both relics were used by Cyclone too. Meanwhile, Benji trying to frontline. He may fall down for the first time this game. And that's 2 kills for Leviathans, as now Scary is a dog without a bone, running through the jungle for his life. Will leap away again. Can a wall come through? Well, you might not need a wall if you've got portals like that from Shinto. Rongyu blinking in, Shinto getting the kill, and that's 3-0 in favor of the Leviathans.
Man, the Leviathans playing around Shinto so well inside that engagement. Tartarus Titans were running it down 100%. pedal to the metal. They said, all right, we're winning this engagement. Great start. And then immediately we see a turnaround from Shinto, drops the ultimate through the wall, and dropships his entire team on a Cyclone spin. Tartarus Titans 3 dead, no one in range to defend. Fire Giant going to be on 5 members of the Leviathans.
Still a 2k lead for Titans now, so even after this Fire Giant goes down for Leviathans here, there's a bit of work to be done from them to gather their momentum back in this game. These tier 2 towers worth about 1,500 gold apiece. That should swing things in their favor. Pyro will help them a little bit there too. Beads, that was a cleanse out from Cyclone there after that Frost Breath connected from Wrong Yu. New minion wave coming in though. Can Yorko get a window to get some tower damage on is a question. His positioning very, very key in this engagement. The front line though, doing wonders. A Scary jumps to the back and forces Yorko for a second to feed back on the backside. Julio taking a ton of damage, however, but the damage towards Titans is pretty brutal there too, to be honest. However, Leviathans don't want to take more than that, Niff. That's pretty good for Titans.
I'd say so. They essentially trade out a tier 2 tower for the entirety of this fire.
Difference between these two at the moment. That wall going to prevent some of the auto attacks, forces the carries to move for a second. But tier 1 now down in mid. Panitom on this right hand side has to be careful, but they're looking at an engage maybe. Panitom going to go in, drop down the ultimate, looks towards Paul is the focus. Great Frost Breath, and the Yarn is damaged too! Paul's still alive for a second though, not long enough. The ultimate came through from the amazing work, but it won't get a kill at all. Benji now forced out, and Shinto Yoko will pick up that kill for sure. Meanwhile, in the jungle, Aurora is going to be another sacrificial lamb here, dealing with these big tanky frontliners. This fight all started off with Panitom.
If Cyclone dies here, that could be the end of the game. Has to find the revive. Yarkor gets credit for that kill. Alternate timeline kept Paul alive for 2 more seconds, and that's all it did.
So we don't really see much Shinto Giannis, but I guess he's got it.
Yeah, he could do it.
But also the fact that you can list and the rest of Titans in that last engagement. Ryan Phoenix gonna fall down, and Leviathans aren't done. They smell blood in the water, and they're looking towards the Titan of the Titans. But instead, they're gonna turn their attention to Aurora for a second, zoning away. Wrong you going, boys, please come on in here and hit this. Instead, they'll hit Aurora first of all. Scaredy gets 1 kill, and the respawn of Paul won't be enough to save the day. Leviathans take Game 1 in this best of 3 groups.
Only one on the side of the Titans who doesn't pick up a defensive relic.
Speaking of going forward, Benji in the enemy jungle again for a second, sees the blue buff has spawned, but Panitom is here. Benji going to stay at distance and consider looking for a shot to steal it away, and does so, but will he get punished for it? The answer will be yes, because Wrong Yu turns up in the nick of time, and they should be enough here. They've got a pile off they need to. They're trying to save it. They bait Scary D in. Scary doesn't have any beads. Well, guess where you're coming, son? Back to town and back to Panitom. 2 kills the way of Leviathans early on.
That is such a tough one. Scary just trying to step forward, just trying to peel out for his homie, but no defensive relic spells the end of his life here, and that should be the name of the game.
Ends this game. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Paul just treading water for the time being, goes back to base, picks up, what's that going to be, restored artifacts, so more than likely the Rodder Tahuti rush is what we kind of see these days. Fearless in the jungle though, and Scary D, remember no beads, and the collapse is on. Blink freeze from Wrong Yu, and the follow-up's there with a wall too, just to separate me. You notice Shinto didn't come too deep there either, just puts the portal down and gets away, but Wrong Yu could be a casualty in response. Leviathan's getting a little bit too deep, and it's a 1-for-1 exchange.
Hey, trading your support for a jungle feels pretty good almost all the time. Scary D now 0-2, Wrong Yu 1-1 in trade. Very interesting.
A lot of wards going on in the jungle right now. You can see it's littered on this right-hand side, but Leviathan's 3 strong here, and Paul does want to rotate. Keep an eye on Shinto in mid as well. He's on that Giannis with the space and time, so he could always turn up late. And the pressure is on Paul, who has to beads and get away. But Panitom still giving chase. The drums of war popped up for separation, but there is the through space and time from Shinto. Perfectly on target and gets a kill.
And I was saying this to you backstage between matches. Now that Shinto has shown that he's got the capacity to play this Giannis, he's essentially triple. It's just great burn potential. Tartarus Titans could try and shift their focus towards a more neutral objective style to try and close up this gap.
Well, if Panitom's positioning now, and where Julio just placed that ward, the blue buff expects another invader tab, but Panitom got spotted by Aurora here. Stunned for a second, looks for some damage, won't get an opportunity to do anything. He has no beads either, remember. And now Julio has the Lawbringer away as the damage relieved from the Titans there. They also pick up a big kill on Panitom.
That is so huge, and that gives Scary D time to catch up in front and ahead in the next 3 seconds while Panitom is still in the grayscale.
Shinto being pressured by Aurora, just keeping the pressure on as Shinto tries to return some damage. Got to be careful though, because the wrap is coming in, and Aurora realizes the direction he should be going. He's low on mana here, but look at where Wrong Yu and Julio is, but Wrong Yu goes to Benji, and they leave Aurora exposed still for Julio to follow up and Rongyu to get claimed for the kill. Benji knocked into the air, prevented by the wall, and in comes Panitum after the respawn, and Benji could be under some pressure. Still has beads available though, and will be trying to hang on to them as long as he can for that Powwow coming through. Drums of war out from Paul is good, but Panitum will get kill on Benji, and now it's Julio looking at Paul, and Paul just used a lot there to try and help out. I don't think he's actually got beads from the last engagement. Talala does, so he will Thunder Crash away and not have to use it. And Thunder Crash away, but I don't think Leviathans is necessarily done. Got to be careful of a flank around the back though. It's only RTO here for a second or two to help clear out this wave and make sure the tier 1 doesn't get brutally taken down. But there was a lot available in the jungle there from Titan. Soon you can see Cyclone working hard to clear out that red buff and then get involved in Rongyu. He's eating a ton of damage there, but the Powwow's up from Panitum. Wow. Where's the target's going to go? Nowhere in the end. He comes back down straight after. Weird engagement. Big pick onto Rongyu, and now Benji might be able to look towards Julio, but that's a tanky tier in the mid lane.
Through space and time from Shinto.
Of what you're going to get out of those swings from Heimdall could come into play.
And Yarkor on Heimdall is going to have a much harder time getting aggressive, right? He's got to wait a little bit, so tank shredding, good start.
Well, just trying to shred down Rongyu for a second or two here, but he's not taking a ton of damage. Good portal blockage from Benji for a second. But now he's a little bit far forward, and he took more than bargained for. They ignore him. Panitum gets the kill. Space and time did hit Cyclone. Wasn't huge, but the positioning is the bigger story, and the chase is on, or is it? Instead, they turn back around Leviathans, look towards Aurora, and take the confirmed kill. Knowing that they've taken out 2 of the frontliners, they can fall back here towards the Gold Fury.
Yeah, Benji got a lesson on how much damage this build can do as Cyclone Spin finds Yarkor. Best of luck, bud.
It's not a real 1v1.
I'll call it a 1v1.
But a double go. You will. You always will. Gold Fury also going to go the way as well. And that was the beads forced earlier in the engagement on Cyclone Spin. And coming full fruition as Yarkor steps on up, realizing he can know he's been involved in 3, but Benji blinks away from the freeze. Straight in towards Panitum, gives him the up down and makes sure he forces the beads. Panitum goes straight to the backline, looking towards Paul. The Powwow is out, and 2 against Benji and Cyclone. Aurora pulled in 2. Law bringing to the backline, looking at Cyclone, who leaps over it away from Julio. Shinto meanwhile under pressure from Scaredy, but Scaredy's very low and isolated now. Leaps back towards his team and eats a frost breath, and Yarkor's axe to the back of his head. Fearless onto 2. Aurora and Benji juggled through the air by Julio as the chase now on for Benji, who can't get back towards his team at the tier 2 tower, but the damage is pretty good so far. Cyclone and Paul trying to get involved and battle back, and Cyclone threads a needle onto Rongyu. Benji's still alive, by the way, as Aurora ducks on back from taken out by Yarkor, and Yarkor trying to get through the Bifrost. Too little, too late. The Aegis bought him too much time of standing there, and the Titans whittle them back, and that's what I was talking about, Myth. The initial engagement, if they can survive it, there's a chance.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that you write the scripts. Shame on me for ever countering what you say. Julio trying to stop the Fire Giant, finds a double Fearless Paw, forced to use beads and Aegis as Panitum goes in.
And there's the leap from Cyclone. I was expecting, but he can't get the Impale off before Shinto slips the noose through the portal. In comes Julio, though, but the cripple field causes problems. Space and time did decent damage, but now Shinto got caught by Benji as Benji returns to the fray, makes a big play, and now it's Titans at the Fire Giant, and I just don't see a way Leviathans can stop this.
There's no way. Panitum on the retreat as Benji chases him at threat continues. Someone from the Leviathans is going to have to head over there and deal with it.
You are seeing a bit of an issue in the later stages, though. Aurora not dying as quick, at least against Shinto, but he is against Yarkor here. Fire Giant at half, but relieved by Titans for now. Julio on the back looking for the Fearless on Cyclone, who uses the beads defensively to escape that Fearless chain. Aurora tanked up the front line as long as he could, has to fall back to the safety of his team, but the Fire Giant still stands, and that's important for both sides.
It is. Neither team able to really establish a good positioning around the objective itself.
Goes on the side of Leviathans at the moment. RTO dueling with Dargy in the jungle at the moment as Benji gets aggressive on Rongyu, and Rongyu got left alone for a moment or two there. Tanky enough to weather the storm, though. Julio going to bring Benji back into danger, and Benji took way more damage than bargained for. Great wall again from Rongyu. Panitum coming in too, going to force the Powwow and get credit for the kill. Also gets the beads out of Aurora. Julio leaping to the back as Paul's ultimate now on cooldown as well. Desert Fury still available from Cyclone, only may need it. The beads has been consumed, the portal dropped down, the damage is good, but return damage from Cyclone is huge. Fearless power cleave on towards Cyclone, and Yarkor's there for credit for the kill. And meanwhile, Paul is out, Aurora is out, and the only one left standing near the FG is the Gilgamesh. But what a great fight from Leviathans.
And he's been spotted out by Panitum here, and aggro set on the desk. That is a 1v1 that is going to favor the Daji just about every single time. Julio acting as goalkeeper, making sure Aurora is able to work his way in, but take a peek at the ultimates of Leviathans. No confirmation available.
Yeah, but a lot of relics used. Blink still available for a couple of people, specifically on the tier 2. And that's what I think we see just going off there on the backside out Julio. who had the Lawbringer available. Fire Giant regen will help him
100
out.
HP.
But the damage was done, or was it? Left Hand Phoenix is in trouble. I'm not sure if anyone's going to get back there in time, unless those minions come into the play.
Might as well hit the Phoenix.
This is perfect, because all the while, Julio's going, yeah, I'll keep Benji busy. You just keep hitting that auto-attack and that
10
Phoenix for
seconds.
now. And as you said, 10 seconds left. What can they do here? Still off 3 Phoenixes. I think mid's going to go down before left, in my opinion here. Blink engage from Aurora, though. Gets the stun up on Yorkor. Yorkor takes more damage than bargained for. Has the Aegis and he's already dead. Thanks to the drums that wore out of Paul. The pull-in onto Cyclone is good as the beast
Huge
shoots. And the space and time connects with him. Are you serious? Shinto gets a double. Gets answered by Benji, though. Middle Phoenix still alive. Left-hand Phoenix still alive. Aurora on his own in the front. Getting support from Benji. Looking for the pick on Shinto where possible. Shinto still getting whittled down as Aurora can stand and bang for a while longer, but Julio now turning up means that RTO could be under more pressure than bargained for. Unstable Vortex comes through, it's not enough just yet for a kill, and with Paul respawning, that could just be the end of the engagement. Titans hold their Phoenix line.
Titans hold their Phoenix line off of Shinto finding a 2-man 50 cal ultimate.
I'm a Fury, remember?
Already 30% down, and the Leviathans are slow on the uptake. Decent damage from Shinto on a Scary D dissuades them from sticking him.
Wrong, you getting looked at, but Aurora now under some pressure
Thunder.
too. Trapped by that wall that lasts a very long time when needed to. The damage was huge. The fearless power cleave not even needed. Thanks to Yorkor's basic attacks that shredded through Aurora's health bar. And without the RTO available, just look at the Titans fall immediately back to their own half of the jungle.
But they have to show up here. If this enhanced Fire
Have
Giant
to.
goes the way of the Leviathans, that could spell the end. Tartarus, Titans, 4 members trying to put up a defense.
Well, I mean, it's 45 minutes in the game. It's a minute respawn time. Escarity goes in, comes back out. Benji up downs on towards Paddington, who
Picks
gets
it
to
up.
the Paolo in time. He's not going to die to a bleed dot up there, so he's just buying himself a moment. Look at the Paul down. Beautiful play from Shinto, but Paul read it like a book. Shinto teleports on through, trying to get towards Scary and the rest of his team. Benji's still alive, but gets hit by that unstable vortex and exploded. Next on the list could be Scary D. Dropkick into the wall, though, onto Yorkor. And the
Shinto.
Paul from Shinto again gets him a double and keeps his teammate alive. 17-9, 3 for 1.
Man, Shinto is doing it all for his team right now. He's finding the picks.
Won't be enough to take that Phoenix alone just yet. But this Fire Giant's taking a bit of time, and it's allowing Aurora and Cyclone to get in range.
They could be a steal attempt, but I don't imagine they take the fight proper. Paul, Tycho drums available, and he's up to 2-1.
Ross on Aurora, look how long
So
that lasted
far.
to Aurora into the pit. Shinto on the back though.
Wow.
The Cyclone hits 2, and there's the Fearless as well out from Julio after the Lawbringer. Uses the portal to reposition. Paul reads it though and still trying to survive. Good Aegis to avoid that damage, and he will stay alive. Fire Giant goes the way, and now with the respawns coming through, Benji could get into fray, but look how tanky Julio is. Still fine with that Fire Giant around his waist. Aurora trying to limp on back and wall prevented yet again.
Good.
Gem. Middle lane Phoenix being focused on though right now by Julio, stepping on in. Benji taking the brunt of the damage. Phoenix still fine. Benji ulted onto Julio, separating him away. Great drop kick as well. Julio runs back to the safety, still has
Nice
Lawbringer
portal.
available if he needs it. I may need to look at it soon. He's looking for an escape route through there, and he actually gets chased by Benji. That gives him the escape route. Meanwhile, left hand side, Cyclone gets a kill, and he's looking at Paddington. The crits will not come through in time. It's the unstable vortex yet again from Shinto, getting the kill,
no.
and now Aurora's in trouble as well. Low on health. Back to the fountain you go, but Benji's to the back alongside Scary D. Looking at the carries, a good stun out from Benji there, but the portal will separate them one more time. This game's still going to go. Your core not being available makes it very tricky for Leviathans to right side minions.
Might as well start to back up, but
Minions.
you're right. Right side minions are in the base. Paul forced to use the Thunderclap defensively to make sure that doesn't take out his Titan, but that leaves Benji high and dry.
And the 4 members of Leviathans could just look to run it down towards the Titan if they choose, but the drums from Paul cause problems. Paddington's so low, Scary can't find the angle for the drop kick, and Shinto gonna body block his way away. And now Benji giving chase, has no blink available. The Titans hold, but not for long.
Man, that is such a tough situation for the Titans. Scary acting as front line, loses out on 20% of his HP bar for his troubles, make that 40% burning fast.
Scary going in though, looking at Yorkor, and Yorkor doesn't hang around at all. Benji's still giving chase towards him though on the backside, and they do manage to get the bees out of Yorkor. Yorkor needs some help and gets them from the space and time portal provided for by Shinto. Yorkor gonna get a kill though. Bloodforge proc comes into play there as well to allow it a shell. Meanwhile, Panitom does go down, but he's keeping the backline busy. Minions of the left-hand Titan is coming on in.
Blink.
Middle lane as well at the same time. All the while, Leviathans paddling down this right-hand side to take that Phoenix one more time, and into...
Well, just walk on in. The Titan is so low HP, all they have to do is make contact.
But they might just want a couple more kills for the stat line too if needed. Have to be respectful of Cyclone Spin here too. And you can see them being quite far back in position at the moment. No ultimate available for Paul or for Cyclone. Reads are available for Cyclone. Yorkcore gets a roar. Cyclone leaps in, but he can't deal with the damage Yorkcore's doing. Double kill for the Heimdall, and they may hunt for the triple. It looks like that's what they're going to do. Cancel that. They'll leave Rongu there. Meanwhile, the Titan of the Titans is going to end up falling down just once they get this kill onto Paul at the tail end. 2-0 to Leviathans in the group stage, and from Leviathan's point of view, that is business as usual. Normal order is restored, especially after how